right. All right, all right, all right, all right. Let's move this over just a tad. And let's get this opened up. So, welcome to the stream. We're going to be editing some restaurant photos and stuff like that today. So I just was waiting for the stream to start. It gives me this little countdown thing, which I guess you could see down here in the corner. And I'm never really sure what part it's going to keep and what part it's not. So I need to figure that out. But anyways, we're going to be doing some, oh, sorry, my cousin just texted me. We're going to be doing some photo editing today, not what you see here. These actually are a little behind the scenes of Jade's photos that she took this past weekend at Myrtle Beach. We were down there for a surf competition. I haven't seen all of them. I don't know what she's edited and what she hasn't. So yeah, she did a good job. Oh, I didn't even notice the vignette on it. I don't use vignettes. I don't like them, but I didn't even notice it on that, and it works really well. So that's the unedited. That's the edit. Good job, Jade. You did a good job, sweetie. Anyways. Looks like she skipped a couple of these, but yeah, she did good. Anyway, all right, we're going to take this right here because I have a Mac that doesn't have USB ports yet. Pop this camera open. Take this right here, most important thing. All right, we'll move my camera out of the way. Sorry if you can't hear me very well. What is this? Look like Superman. I've got kind of a different setup right now with the mic. All right, let's get this plugged in. That should have worked. Oh, wrong thing. Let's shrink you. Yep, perfect. Let's pop this open. DCIM. This here. Alright, so now you can see like all of my photos I took for the restaurant. So we're trying to do some stuff where we can kind of have things post more often. Like take some pictures of things that are always on the menu, or like here we got some seasonal stuff, but we wanted to get some good pictures of the seasonal stuff that we could then like put in with other seasonal stuff when we have other soups and stuff that come through, Vittles offering soups, whatever. Anyways, so we are going to, I'm going to go ahead and look through these first actually. So what I'm going to do is just make this into the gallery view so that I can see it well. Move this up, open that back up. Alright, so let's go ahead and fold. Oh, okay, hold on. I don't know if that makes it impossible for y'all to see or not. One time when I was younger, I recorded with Bandicam, back in the Bandicam days, an entire video of me playing a Star Wars game, and it was sick. I loved it. I was probably like 4th or 5th grade, and the whole thing was in that like widescreen window. Lost all of it. Or not lost it, but it didn't record the window I was in. Only recorded the desktop. So, alright. So here's what we got. We can, like, I don't like this picture. This picture is boring. The lettuce is just falling off. Which I don't know that I noticed that, so that might be in all of these shots. But the bread's sitting on there. No angle. It's not dynamic at all. So I'm going to skip that. Probably skip a couple. There's probably a few that are that way. Yeah. Let's see here. Where did I move the bread? I think this one. Yeah, I moved it a little bit. That's a maybe, so I'm gonna go ahead and highlight it yellow. Nah, you know what? I'm just gonna highlight them all green because they're all gonna go into Lightroom, and then I'll make my choices in there again, like as I'm editing. I like to do that where I kind of do a first round and then I do an active round of like culling, where I'll be like, oh, I don't like this, I'm gonna skip it and just not edit it. So basically, yeah, we're just gonna peek through some of these things here, and I'm not gonna keep this long. I know this is boring. So anyways, here we go. So this is chicken tortilla soup and a bologna sandwich. Now I could have probably cleaned that up there and here on the side, I could have rearranged this just a little bit. I was thinking a little more on like how I wanted my background to be, because there was a lot of people. I couldn't take the photos where I usually would. So I was in a little bit of a trickier situation to take the photos this time. And as you can tell, like the light was really, really hard. I think these photos came out okay. I probably could have scooted that back some and got rid of the shadows here and kind of punched in a little bit. But I don't hate this. I really don't. It's not the worst for how hard the light was, for sure. I've definitely had worse hard light situations. So here we've got roadside nachos. I don't know if I changed my aperture at all. I think I just changed my shutter speed because I like the blurry aperture on the product photos and stuff usually, but you can't quite tell what it is. So that's definitely something where seeing it in the bigger format is helpful. And I wish I had noticed that. Okay, so here looks like our focus was a little bit more in this area than just on this Japaleno here. That's how you pronounce it, by the way, Japaleno. So we can see the chips just a tiny bit crisper if you notice that. Well, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe I'm seeing things. I don't know. But I do like it. I know this is a different picture than that, but I like it a little bit more than I think that first one. So we're going to go with that. Yeah, you can't really read the sign back here. I like it better when it just has the welcome instead of the welcome to, because it's inferred, like you get it, you understand it. This one looks pretty good, so I'm going to go with it, and it gets a little bit more of a top-down view. Most of these are going to be put into 4x5 anyways, so for Facebook and Instagram. We'll keep one that's got a little more high-key of a look to it. We probably won't use it so much. But see, like this right here, I don't know what the settings were on this one as opposed to like these. I do not like it at all. I think it's like that's one of those high key situations where or not high key, hard light situations where everything kind of looks dull. Granted, I mean, it's shot in RAW anyways. I got to bring some color back in post, and that's part of our job as the people editing. So we'll do some of that. I think we're probably good on all of those pictures. Oh, I like this one. I'm gonna grab it. All right, so we're good there. So now let's go ahead and look at our soup. So that is not, it's not a terrible angle of the soup. I kind of like that. It's kind of like an us perspective if we were gonna be eating. That's just the zoomed in version of that. So we can do without that one. Unless, yeah, no, we can do without that one. That's a zoomed in version too, but I think I like the angle of everything just a tiny bit more, so I am gonna acknowledge that one. Alright, so this right here, we got welcome to Vittles, and then this says Vittles here. It's implied, obviously, it says TTLES, and it's got the slogan here, when you sit at our table, your family. So, you know, it's, we've got some implications here, like you can understand kind of where this is. It gives you a little bit of branding and things, so that's good to know, good to have. And then also we've got, you know, just a little happy coincidence thing. It says Coca-Cola here, right? So that adds to kind of the, like, what do they offer? What kind of restaurant is this? So you kind of get to know. So here we've got some cleaner bowl looks. I think I just rotated it. We'll take this one because we can see the whole soup. Ooh, I might like this one more, so we'll go with that. Alright, and then I definitely want some of these top downs because I have an idea for this that maybe I'll show you guys in the that's pretty dark. That's pretty dark. We'll see what we can do with it. We'll take one of the darks and one of the brights. But that's an idea for inside of Photoshop that I had. Okay, and it looks like I wanted some of the cleaner bowl photos. I'm not really sure why I took those necessarily, but we'll keep one. Alright, so that's all that is. So easy enough. Oh wait, hold on. I made a mistake. We need to go here and I need to put this back into icon view, and then I need to sort it by tags. So these are all the photos that we tagged. Looks like just over half, literally 2 over half. So that's not the, I didn't do the best at being selective there, but we'll go ahead and open them in Adobe Lightroom. It'll bring them in here. Then I could go through it here if I wanted to. It always gives you this like low quality render. It's hard for me to like decide from this if I want to keep something or not. So I'll just add them all. And then as we're going through editing, this is where I'll be a little more picky as we do this. So let's go ahead and get this going. I guess I didn't get any individuals of the sandwich, which is kind of a bummer. I probably should have. I don't like this one. This looks sloppy. It looks sloppy. That looks way better. So we're gonna get rid of this guy. Goodbye, my friend. Delete. The nice thing about this is if you kept your camera settings relatively similar, also because of my sensor I get a little bit of wiggle room here, so let's push this down. Just get the sandwich in it just a bit more. If you find like settings that you like, you kind of edit it the way that you're looking for it and all of that. Let's make sure our white balance is good. Okay, that's not it. It's not a matrix meal, so we're gonna, just kind of eyeball it. I don't think that it's bad. Maybe warm it up just a touch. We do want, now something I'm not real great at is understanding the difference between the vibrance and the saturation. So I usually don't like the look of vibrance quite as much as I do saturation. Oh my goodness, that did a lot really quickly. So we're gonna up that a little bit. One thing I would definitely want to do is I want to bring the highlights down, not too much. We can see here kind of what that did. Took that to that. I actually don't think I like it, because it's giving me that hard light look that I was saying in that one photo. The reason I chose not to keep that one, it's kind of giving me that vibe, so I might take that down and take that away. Yeah, I don't like it so much. Let's go. We can't quite do, since this back here is black, the majority of our the majority of our framing is a much different color. So I don't want to what is the word? I don't want to adjust my exposure for everything at the exact same time. So I'm going to go ahead and mask these, because these are pretty similar colors. You got the tans and browns there, you got tans and browns here, and it didn't highlight that. So let's go ahead and hold down Shift to add it and see if it gets it this time. Nice. Awesome. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring down the exposure of this individually, just a tad. And I'm also going to I'm going to boost the saturation in here just a tiny bit, just a little bit. So now we've gone from this to this so far. So okay, now it bounced back. There we go. It's looking not quite what I'm wanting it to look like, but it is looking a little better. I could have, like I said, I was kind of in a harder position yesterday as far as taking these photos, so I didn't quite get exactly what I was looking for out of the photography. But we can't always be the most happy with our work. Sometimes we have to put aside our personal feeling about a photo and kind of try to understand, like, okay, that is not the color I was looking for, or the thing I was looking for. Try to understand, like, what is what's happening with the photo. Like, is it looking like a post that they can make? Is it going to be something that's going to be beneficial to them still, whether I like it or not? Removing area using AI. Nice. Okay, it actually did a pretty good job. Adobe's AI is not always that good. It might struggle with this part, to be honest, because this is a lot and it kind of varies in texture. So let's see what it does here with this. Remove. Okay. Wow. It did a good job. Now that we kind of cleaned that up a little bit, I want to clean this up, but I'm worried that that's not going to work as much. So I'm not going to waste time on it right now. And I'm going to do a little bit of, okay, come back, catch up with me. My computer's struggling this morning. Me too, honestly. Like, a little under the weather feeling. All right, I'm going to boost my contrast a little bit. I always like the look of some boosted contrast. Ooh, that's nasty. That's nasty too. Perfect. We'll do just that. All right. Anyways, let's put it at about 7-ish. There's something about this that's just not clicking with me right now. It's just not clicking with me. Maybe it is the exposure. Okay, so I brought the exposure down. I think it's the difference in exposure. In the background, you've got I'm pointing at it like you can see. You've got the dark grayish sidewalk here. You've got the very bright white here. Honestly, this exposed pretty well. I'm actually kind of proud of myself for the way I exposed this. You don't really lose any of the, you lose some highlight right there, but like you can see the styrofoam detail. That's kind of insane. Good job, Gavin. Anyways, yes, that was good exposure for the bowl, but obviously not the greatest exposure for this background. So what I'm gonna do now, I think, is I've made my mask for the soup and the burger. Not burger, sorry, it's a bologna sandwich. Bologna. So now I'm going to duplicate and invert my mask, and it should just be highlighting our background, like you can see here. Our background and our, what is that called? Wrapper. So I'm going to bring up some exposure for that. Just a bit. Yeah, actually, I think that helped a lot. Let's take a look at the before and after on that. So that, things are kind of looking hard. The light looks really hard. It looks very different. Like, sticks out pretty bad. That, everything in the image kind of goes together a little bit more. And the reason is I can't really darken my, my subject so much, because that's where everyone's going to be hopefully looking. I mean, that's kind of the goal. So if I darken this too much to match my background, then I'm losing the thing that should be my priority in my image. So I think this is a little bit better. I think yeah, I like that a little bit. So I'm gonna move on from this photo. It still has some work that could probably be done on it, but I'll come back to it if I need to, if I'm really just not feeling it. So what do I like more, that one or this one? That one or this one? It's not a burger, by the way. I keep saying burger. We're gonna skip those for a second. I need a break from the bologna, and I want to look at this because I was getting a little bit. The bologna photos just weren't quite what I wanted. My mom's calling. She calls every time I do this. Hello. What's up? Yes, we sure did. Yeah. No, I figured. I figured. What's what? Oh. Wow, that's crazy. Alright. Love you too. Bye. My grandma can't find the keys that are on her key ring. So that's what that call was about. asking if I put the keys back on the key ring. I said yes. Anyways, also she said she thought there was a drone up in the sky, and it was just a plastic bag. My mom. She was like, oh my gosh, is that a drone? What is that? And I guess it was moving a little weird to be a drone. And she was like, what the heck? What's going on? And then she's like, oh, it's a plastic bag. And she started laughing. She said it was as high up as I would fly a drone, though. That's kind of crazy. All right. Boost our saturation a little bit. The yellows in the jalapenos and in the cheese and I guess the chips too, but the chips are kind of shaded and highlighted. You can't tell quite as much. They came out really heavy with that, just that +5 saturation. So I'm not going to do a bunch of I'm not going to do a bunch of editing with that. I'm going to just kind of let that be. We don't really need to do much more saturation on that. I think this photo, I don't know what it is about it. I like it a lot more. I don't think it quite needs as much editing done to it. However, I do want to... Let's do right in there. I do want to kind of bring our background up because it's just kind of giving me a little bit of a... I don't know what kind of vibe it's giving. Oh, I just thought of something cool that we could do with this. We could have like a cheesy nacho-y explosion with the Vittles font behind, Vittles word name, goodness gracious, behind it. We might do that in Photoshop here in a minute. But anyways, so let's go ahead, let's jump in this background real quick, because sometimes you don't always need to use your background. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. You don't always need to use your background. Sometimes you can like make something else with, okay, that didn't do what I needed it to, with just being creative. So I'm gonna maybe try that. I've been doing a little bit more of stuff like that lately for businesses and things. Just kind of the words behind it just adds an elevation to your posts that not every other business has, and I'm sure it's going to get more and more and more and more and more used up and as time goes on, and because there's no shortage of people that do that with their things they edit, but I think it just adds a little bit of creativity. Alright, I want to bring down the texture. Yeah, I'm going to bring down the texture a little bit, because this worn out look here, it looks good in person, like on the rustic sign kind of thing, but in this, it's kind of giving me like wolf t-shirt vibes. So, like my spirit animal's a wolf, and my car's a Harley Davidson on the same t-shirt kind of vibes. So I'm going to just dial that back a tiny bit. Yeah, let's see here. Kind of our before and after. That's the thing with these photos, like, you don't have to do too much with it. It's an Instagram post. It's not the menu. It's not the website. That would have more of a kind of, hey, let's make sure that this looks perfect. That's when you need to be back in the kitchen, like, not telling them how to do their job, of course not, but I would grab, and I would do this myself, I wouldn't make the kitchen do this, but I would grab another of these napkin things, and I would not napkins, wrappers, and I would put it in my tray, and I'd get rid of the one that's got the barbecue sauce on the back there, and I would bring in some extra lights. I would just do my part to make the photos look more realistic, more appealing, less like anyone could take it. Because social media posts, to be honest, anyone can take it. And you kind of have to replicate that view, that look of, hey, like anyone can do this kind of thing, because that's where you get like the oh goodness, what's the words I'm looking for here? Oh goodness gracious. Oh yeah, I skipped that, didn't I? That's where you get like the authenticity. It's a small business, you know. It's not Applebee's, it's not Chili's. Part of their appeal to their customer base is, we know you. We're friends. Like at this restaurant in particular, like a lot of the people that go, they all are friends. They all know each other. It's a social spot. And so if you can kind of if you can replicate just a tiny bit of like that authenticity that comes from that, then you get a little bit of a more homey kind of vibe. But you also want to, I don't know why I tried background again, I didn't mean to do that. You also want to elevate it a little bit beyond what somebody else could do. So if somebody else has a phone and they have a restaurant, well, yeah, of course they can take phone social media posts. If you can bring your quality to where the food doesn't look blurry, it's not pixelated because it's on a camera sensor, not a iPhone sensor. Not that iPhones are bad. I mean, they're really not that bad, but the like auto compression and detailing and stuff that the camera, the iPhone does, it has a certain look to it. If you can break that and be just a touch more professional while also trying to keep that authenticity, it helps a lot with like the business being able to appeal to its customers and to the people that are there every day, the people that make the business, you know. All right. I don't feel the need to bring the texture down quite as much in this because we don't have the you know, the thing there, and the we don't see the dirty concrete quite as much. Not that the concrete's really dirty or anything, but like the I don't mean dirty, I guess, but the different colors in it, the patchiness of the colors. All right, I think we're probably good on these nachos here, and these leaves. I could have got rid of that. Let's try our hand at this one real quick, actually, because it's a little bit brighter. Let's see kind of what happens with that. Let's bring down. All right, so now, like I said earlier, I said you don't want to make the subject match the background. You want to make the background match the subject. I'm actually going to break that rule real quick because, one, we already have plenty of options to choose from, but also this is giving us a little bit of a opportunity because it's so bright. So we've got some more detail in the shadows. If we bring it down just a couple of notches, that's still a bit bright, I think. So let's bring down our highlights a little. And we probably don't even need to touch our shadows because they're up. I mean, that looks like a pretty warm day. So that's a good kind of summer photo, I guess. I mean, you can kind of tell that the lighting is fall. Fall just kind of has a, like midday fall just kind of has that look to it. And yeah, midday was when I took these. I should have thought through that a little better. That's totally on me. But let's do that there. Honestly, I think because of the... No. I was going to say I think because of the brightness, let's pull some saturation down, but it did not look good. So we're not going to do that. Let's come back here to the exposure. Touch it down just a little bit. So that puts it at minus 44. Now let's kind of see what the difference between that and this is. Oh, wow. They're actually really similar. So, you know, maybe didn't make as much of a difference as I thought. The only place that it could have maybe made a difference is we might get a little extra detail in these, the shadows of these chips. So, you know, there is something to be said for that, but, you know, whatever. Another thing that I've kind of found is keeping, I love to do, I used to love to do stuff that's very dark, like photo wise. Yeah, I don't know. There's just something about the sign in this photo with the lighting. It just gives me like early Instagram edgy vibe, and I I don't like it. So I'm going to cut it out again just a tad. I mean, we want the nachos to be the primary focus anyways, right? So I'm gonna do that, get it in there perfectly. I like that. So yeah, we can just kick these guys on out of here. Delete. I think this one wasn't edited. Yeah, that is not edited. And I mean, that's a pretty good, you can see the difference here. The vibrance and saturation, when you bring that up, it kind of feels like cheating, but you got to remember that your photos are in RAW. If you're shooting in RAW, if you're shooting in JPEG, then do whatever with that information that you want. But if you're shooting in RAW, you're going to have to boost the saturation just a tiny bit. And it makes quite a difference. Like it brings things into a more realistic look. This looks sad. That looks more appetizing. So, and like I said, these aren't going to be the most professional look. We want some authenticity. We want it's also a little bit of a rushed shoot, things like that. So, is there more that I could have done? Absolutely. And under different circumstances, I totally would. But for this shoot right now, like, not so bad. Like next time, I'm not going to use this background. I don't like it so much. It's I took a chance on it. I thought that I would enjoy it a little more, but it's not my favorite. And I know that, so I'll swap it out. So one thing here I kind of have the liberty to do, because we have individuals of this soup, and because the soup's not always on the menu, it's a fall seasonal thing, I can kind of scoot it to the side a little bit. I can focus this, my rule of thirds, and get right here kind of on this sandwich. Let's pull it down just a tad, and that's going to give me some more, kind of lead some eyes a little bit more towards the sandwich. Now, when I finished and I got that framing there, I don't quite like it, so I'm going to go back to that right there. Just feels a little bit crooked. Let's do that. Nope. I want the full sandwich in it. Okay, that might be more what I'm looking for. So you gotta keep in mind it's gonna be on your phone, so you want it to take up space. You want it to take up you want it to be noticed. And I want this to be noticed. I mean, we've got color in it and everything. One thing I am going to go ahead and do here, I'm going to grab my color picker for the color mixer. I'm going to grab this. And I'm going to give it, nope. I'm going to give it a little bit of saturation. I'm going to give it some hue, because the lighting bouncing off of that lettuce is so reflective. And the lighting bouncing off of it is taking out so much color. So let's do that. And now let's have a look. Before and after. I mean, it's just the slightest little touch. It did add a little bit of green here, you know, but it is a reflection. So I think that that's okay. I think it's going to be okay. But, you know, it did the tiniest little bit of work, and it makes our lettuce just look a little bit more appetizing. Right here got some more green, right here got some more green. In the kind of darker parts where your eye understands that light's bouncing off of that, but we want the colors for the hunger factor. Oh my gosh, that looks good. Oh my gosh, that looks appealing, right? So we're gonna go with that. I want the soup kind of here as like oh, I could go get those together. That looks like a good little meal. And it really does. It's actually making me super hungry. But you know, that gives you a, like, we have this too, kind of like a in the background thing. This is your main attraction for this photo. Of course, like I said, we have the pictures of the soup itself, so it'll have its time to be the main attraction, and we need that because it's fall, and it's a specialty item on the menu, so we have to be sure that it gets highlighted too. But it gives us this and this, and it's like, oh, okay, I'll go get those together. That sounds like a good idea. So it's kind of just like a gentle lead into what do I want to eat today. All right, so here we've got some soup. Let's kind of see what we can get with the soup. Good soup. All right, I'm gonna leave that for now. Let's boost our contrast. I like it around 10 generally. Let's bring our highlights down. So, oh yeah, we're gonna bring it down a little bit. Just a little. I don't like to mess with the highlights all that much, like honestly. Let's bring our shadows up. This is, of course, for the whole photo. We haven't masked anything yet. And then I almost don't think we need saturation boosted in this so much, but we'll give it a little bit. We'll give it 4. Because, like I said, we shot in RAW. We got to make sure we account for that. But this, I mean, the soup is like, I think the lighting on it, the way that the light's kind of hitting it is bringing out the colors. So, to me, my voice is so cracky, and I think I'm getting sick or something. But to me, it's like kind of gives us that, kind of gives us the color that we need anyways. So, that's good. Alright, so now we've got the soup itself highlighted. I don't know that we need it highlighted, to be honest. Let's go ahead and mess with our background and see how we feel after that. So, invert, selection, let's up you. Oh, okay. So, here's the problem with outside photos. If you're outside, there's bugs. So, we got to get rid of that. Needs to go. Yes, I could delete it. I could like use the erase tool or whatever. Not even going to take the chance. We'll just get rid of it. So here we've got the name of the restaurant, which is good. So let's go ahead. Let's hit it with a framing change, 4x5 in vertical. And this is kind of lined up in a way that we can get it right in the center. It's the only thing in the frame, and look, perfect. Almost equal spacing between these. So, you know, cool. I mean, we can get some equal spacing if we want. I think that's going to take away just a little too much, though. Who's calling me now? Oh, my grandma is. Hey, Mama. What's going on? Oh, wow. Okay, well, thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Love you too. Bye. My uncle brought 4 big old dinners of barbecue, apparently, over to her house. And she's asking if I want to come eat some. Or she said if I get hungry to come eat some. I'm not going to just ghost her. Alright, so let's kind of trace this out. And then remove. See what it does here. Yeah, did a good job. They've done pretty good at like kind of updating the way that AI helps you. That's one thing about the whole AI situation that I was telling my mom last night, like some of this kind of stuff, the removal tools and things like that, I'm okay with, but where I won't use AI is if I could pay someone, if I would, not could, you could pay anyone for anything. Anyone will do anything for money if you want. Like, you could be like, hey, I'm going to edit the rest of these photos. I need you only to trace these with the erase tool. You could pay somebody for that. They would be like, are you sure? But they'd take the money. So, that's not exactly what I mean. But if I would pay someone for it, so if I need music made, if I need a special effect made and I can't do it, then I would not use AI for that, because I don't want to take away from the artistry and someone else's job, because I wouldn't want that to happen to me. So I wouldn't do that. Things like this, where I do it and it just becomes a tool for me, like going from a screwdriver to a drill, I'm cool with that. I'm totally down for that. That is perfectly fine. in my opinion. Some people might not share that opinion, but I'm okay with it. Awesome. All right, I know there's a little piece right there, and it might drive some of us crazy, but I'm going to leave it. Because, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. It's going to drive me crazy. All right, let's get rid of that. Come on now. I just didn't want to wait for it to do this part again. Removing. Thank you. Goodbye. All right, so now we've got, this is kind of our look here. Did we... No, we did not. All right, let's do a background. Let's get our back. Can we work? Can you work with me? There we go. Let's get our background highlighted. I do like the hard shadow that it's casting. That's actually kind of sick. I'm not sure why, but I like it. All right. Let's invert object selection here. Let's bring our exposure up just because it's okay. Here it's not going to work quite as much. We only have the black chalkboard in our background here. So the contrast between that and this cutting board is really steep. So we're going to need to remove from the framing our cutting board so that it's not affected in our my Lightroom just kind of stopped showing me the what's it called, the layover, that's for flights, overlay recently. I don't know why. Okay, that's gonna be rough. I really wish I had my overlay. Let's see. Yeah, that's pretty okay. We'll see what happens when we do this. Okay, yeah, I'm down for that. That's good. All right. So you see, like, we just up it just a little bit. This is pretty steep. Was that part of my mask? It was. So let's subtract a little more from our mask here, because this is a really bright part of the wood. And just, crap. I didn't mean to run over that. It doesn't look like it did anything. It did. It's just the edge. I'm okay with this, though. I think I'm cool with it. We can go to our main photo area here. Is nothing edited on this? Did I not? Okay, bro. I'm getting confused. Maybe it's the phone calls or the whatever, but... Hold on. I thought I messed with the contrast. Did I not? Did I switch photos somewhere? I might have. Let's do that. Let's bring this back up some. Let's put it at 6. Highlights. Gotta come down. Oh my gosh, that made a difference. Holy cow. That's so nice. Alright, and then shadows can come up a little bit. That's gonna help bring our... Okay, not that much. It's gonna help bring our chalkboard up a little bit. And there we go. So, let's look at our before and after on that. Before, after. No. Don't like it. So we're gonna up this just a tiny bit. The yellows just grab onto the saturation slider so heavy. So like if there's yellow in your image, like it just looks like... I think I like the vibrance more with this one. Yep, because it's a little bit, gives it a little bit more of a true tone kind of look. I'm gonna go ahead and skip over to this one here. We're just gonna edit this a little bit, and then we're gonna jump in Photoshop, and then I'm gonna end this video because, like I said, I'm not feeling so great for some reason, but also I don't want to make it a million hours long just because I'm talking too much and all of the... Dang, I wish this was a brighter image. It's still too dark. Oh, wait. Like I said, I get a lip. I got some grace. Perfect. So let's do our shot as original 3x2. Gives me the sensor size throughout the whole thing. We're going to do that. Perfect. Um, or should we just do we should just go ahead with a 4x5. They're going to post it on socials. No, actually, never mind. We're not going to do that because that didn't fit right. We'll go with this. We're going to go with it. And then let's go ahead and we'll do our vibrance again because I liked that actually quite a bit. So let's go with like 13. Highlights come down a little more. Contrast come up. Okay, so the contrast added quite a bit of color to that. And then let's bring it down just a touch, just a little bit. I don't want to bring it down much. And now let's do our let's do this. Oh, is it gonna work? No. Okay. Let's get our soup highlighted. Perfect. And invert. Let's get this inverted, and let's get it down just a little bit. I think I'm cool with that. It's a little bit more low-key than I would have preferred, but I'm cool with that. So, before okay, and after, before and after. Okay, and then back to before, I guess. So let's go ahead and go to our recent edits here. It's going to give us just everything that we've edited today and recently, but it's going to give us all our edits for today so that we have them. Let's go ahead and export these as JPEGs, JPEG large. And Lightroom saved photos. I didn't know I had this folder, but you know what? Let's go ahead and do that. That's perfect. Ooh. Let's get some water. All right, perfect. So now let's go ahead and get Photoshop opened up. Close out Lightroom. Oh my goodness, the computer is struggling. My friend is a R&B, rap, hip-hop kind of artist. Not R&B. I don't know why that's the first thing I said. But he always tells me he's making country music, so I made this, and I took a picture of him I found offline and just photoshopped it into a album cover. All right. So we know we're going to be doing 4x5. Luckily, I have done a lot of social media stuff lately, so I know that this is the 4x5 ratio with 1080, height 1350. So let's go ahead and hit create. Perfect. Got some annoying grid lines here, but I'm not worried about it. We'll just leave them. Now, how do I find where is that Lightroom thing that it was saying? Lightroom saved photos. Wow. Okay. I did not know. So that's it's in pictures. Got it. Very cool. All right, let's go down to here. These are all of our pictures. Can you tell I label stuff done most of the time? Goodness gracious, 90 dones. Oh, I don't need all of these at once, actually. It's not what I meant to do. So let's, which one do I want to start with? Let's go with this. Let's try the nacho thing I was talking about. That sounds good to me. Throw you in Photoshop here. Oh, let's just drag and drop. That was, I don't know why I did it that way. Photoshop, come on now, work with me. There we go, perfect. What am I doing wrong? Let's just do this. Cool, much easier, much easier. That's how I usually do it. I don't usually use a full screen thing, but I kind of wasn't thinking about the fact that I was in that. Alright, now here's what we're gonna do. We have just barely have the entire photo. Like 3 pixels off. Anyways, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna use this tool right here, my favorite tool. Look at that. Ugh, it thought so smart, so well. We're gonna mask. Perfect. That's so perfect. That's beautiful. I love it. Alright, and now what I want to do is, what do we want to change this background to? I don't want a white background, so let's see. We could do like a cheesy yellow, maybe. Tortilla yellow, jalapeno green. No, you need to go underneath. Thank you. I don't know. So let's mess around with some colors real quick. Nope, definitely not that. Or that. Or that. What about this? That's very yellow. Let's try that. No, I don't like it. I do not like that yellow. It's hard on my eyes. It like almost hurt when I turned it to that. All right, let's go. We'll go with this for now. What I want to do, shrink this. No, okay. I forget when the difference between when you're holding shift when you hold shift in Illustrator, it shrinks everything the same size, and when you hold shift in Photoshop, it does not. It unlocks it. I'm sure there's a way you could change that, but I'm not too particularly worried about changing my settings. So, all right, let's do that. Bring you up some to right about there, because something I want to do for sure is type the Vittles text out. So we're gonna just go ahead and type VITTLES, and that is not the font that Vittles is in. Luckily, I have the font downloaded here, and it's this one actually, so that's perfect. Let's do that. And most of their branding and everything is in red, so I'm gonna do red, but I'm not gonna do a hard, like, very computer colored red. I don't like when the colors are quite so computer looking. So we're gonna, I forgot the shift thing again. We're gonna do that. Wow, my face is, my voice, gosh dude, I'm not in it today. Like I didn't wake up this morning, I guess. I don't know what's going on. Alright, I want this behind, because it always looks better. Perfect. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. So we've got that. Now let's draw. I'm gonna draw like an abstract kind of cheese explosion. So let's do. Let's grab our brush tool here. Oh yeah, my bad. Let me select a layer. Select this layer. The shape layer must be rasterized. That's fine. Go for it. You do you. All right. Pop this open to there. Soft round pressure sized, hard round pressure sized. I don't really have a pressure thing because I'm not really Okay, oil is wet. That might... Oh, no. I don't think this is going to be what I'm looking for. Let's go ahead and try it, and let's see if it's what I'm looking for, kind of. And I don't think it's going to be, but we'll give it a shot. We'll see. So let's go with a probably more of an orangey yellow. That'll be good. Bro. Command Z. Ah, dang. Orangey yellow. That's good with me. Now let's change this to... I don't want a stroke. I don't want there to be a stroke. Oh, well, okay. I guess there's not. So, this is where our cheese explosion is going to be. Let's go ahead and lock it so we can kind of see what it's going to look like beforehand. And we're going to get like this goopiness. Yeah, this is not doing what I wanted it to do. So, it's going away. Alright, we're going to change back to the normal brushes that I would usually work with. We'll go with the hard brush. Yeah, I'm cool with the hard brush. So let's do this. A little bit of this. I don't know why it's kind of got that, like, weird opaqueness to it. Why? Yeah, why? Wait, hold on. I'm very confused. You know what I'm gonna do instead? First, I'm gonna answer this third phone call. Hi, sweetheart. I'm streaming editing. It's okay, what's up? What? No, you're gonna drive it back. You're gonna drive back. I don't know. Probably not. Okay. Gotcha. Okay, thank you. I mean, we'll see, because I'm gonna see what's wrong with the car. So. Okay. Alright, see. I don't know. I'm honestly feeling super terrible. Yeah. I don't know. I just don't feel good. Headache and all kinds of stuff. But we'll see. Alright, baby. I don't know. We'll cross that when we get to it. Yeah, don't worry about it right now. Alright, I love you. Bye. Alright, these aren't working. These are not working. What is going on? Mixer brush tool, is that why? Yep. Alright, so I was in the wrong brush tool. It's not exactly why things aren't working the way I want them to. I mean, it's just this shape. I'm kind of going for like the Nickelodeon splash. So let's start with a little round thing here. Kind of come out at the edges, come back in, round that there, come in, out, the big cheesy explosion, come in, out there. We'll add some little dots and stuff. This is looking a lot better. Yeah, I'm liking this a whole lot more. My goodness. I don't know what I was doing wrong. I just needed Jade to call me. Get her creative juices in my brain. Oh, someone else is calling. Oh no, They might take my creative juices. Yo, that looks 10 times better than the rest of that crap that I was making. And I still messed up, but hold on. Hello, Mom. What's up? Oh, that stinks. Yeah. Gotcha. Okay, I'm actually streaming right now, editing, so it's cool. And someone else is calling me, so I'm gonna answer that too. All right, love you too. Bye. Now Full Sail's calling. I'm not answering that right now. I don't have time for them to tell me to come back to school. Although, if you're thinking about going to school there, it's a really great opportunity and it's so much fun. And it's actually not that expensive because they do a lot of kickbacks and scholarships. So, keep it in mind. All right. Anyways, now that I've done my Full Sail pitch, they need to be down in my comments. All right, I like this. I like this. This worked a whole lot better than the first time. So that's a problem right there. We need to fix that, but we'll worry about that in a second. Cause I drew on my rectangle and layer. So that was my fault. I meant to change that when I changed that brush to the right thing, but I didn't. So oh well. Now let's just get these filled in here. I don't know if there's an easier way to do this. I know in Illustrator you can use I don't not know what I'm doing. I'm not the most prolific person in Photoshop. I use Lightroom the most. That's where I do the majority of stuff like this. But I've broken into not stuff like this, like graphic stuff, like what I'm doing like specifically right now. But for the photos and things like that, like when I add them to the graphics, I'll use, of course, use Photoshop. But I'm trying to get a little bit better at it. I like it a lot. It's got a lot of cool, unique tools and things that just are super helpful. So I'm trying to get a little bit better at it, and that's why I'm using it right now. Just I could have jumped into Illustrator, made this little cheese glob thing and called it a day, but I'm not gonna do that right now because I'm trying to get better. Alright, let's get this finished up real quick so I can get back to the important stuff, because I also need to figure out, I guess, okay, what I'm going to try and do is I'll try and steal from my own photo, not from someone else, the pieces of jalapeno and do some explosion with those. I don't know if I'm going to have enough variety to get kind of what my idea is. We can size this brush up now and get this done a lot quicker. But we're gonna see. I think I can make it work. So we got our crap. Dang. Just because I went over that one little section of the cheese glob. You know what? Actually, this isn't the most important thing to fill in because it's gonna be covered. Dude, what a goat. Let's go. I like this a lot. This looks sick. This looks so sick. I like this a ton. Alright. The only thing I don't like, everything is a little bit low in our frame. So let's grab all, excuse me, a little bit of a hiccup. Let's grab all of it and pick it up. Let's go right there. I wanted this a little lower in the frame. Maybe I just wanted the words higher. Let's pull our words up. But I want them to be, ooh, I got some more drawing to do. What the heck was that? Oh, I grabbed the guide. Alright, done. Let's get you in the center here. Come on. Come on now, bud. Get in the center. What? What the heck? Why is my center tool not working? Yeah, we'll do that. And then down here, roadside nachos or something? Maybe? Maybe we can do that in like a tire mark font too. I'll have to download that and see what we get out of it. But let's do that. So who all has called me on this stream? It's been my mom twice, Jade once, my grandma. Full Sail. Is that it? I think it was just the 5 phone calls. That's funny. All right, let's do copy and paste. Okay, nope, come on. And the reason I want to copy and paste it is because I just want to bring it up to here to get our background. Oh, no, come back. Yep, to there to get our background colored in. But I do want to get rid of the stroke that's around it. How can I do that? Maybe I can't. Let's delete it. Let's add. Let's grab the brush. And let's pick that. Perfect. Alright, now let's jump back in this really quickly. And let's kind of make this cheese look just a tiny bit more realistic. I don't want it to look too realistic because that's not really my style. There's a guy online on YouTube that I watch that does that style so well. Like he just like cartoony realism, whatever it's called. I don't really know what you would call his style, but I love it. Like he does such a great job, and I can't remember his name. But he does wiggly. He does a great job, and I can't ever like quite get the same kind of style that he does, but that's not what it's about. It's not about being him. It's about doing my thing. So we're just gonna add a little bit of, he does a really good job at the shading is kind of what I was thinking about, but we're not gonna do that so much. I'm gonna add let's put like a little bit of cheese down here in the corner, maybe tie it together, fill in some of this negative space here, get our yeah, I like this. This looks really good, actually. Thanks for the ideas, guys. I appreciate you. And I know that sounds like a joke, but honestly, I am kind of legit. I wouldn't have probably made all of this and thought about it if I wasn't streaming and thinking of like ways to make it look cool. I would have probably edited the photos and called it a day on that. What the heck? I keep grabbing these stupid guides. The guides are great, but I don't always want them there. I'm not quite sure how to get rid of them in Photoshop. Alright, I like that angle. I think that's fine. There is a little bit of like a hard edge on our things, and that's from that black background, but it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be on a phone, right? So we'll be okay with that. Let's go ahead and duplicate this, and we can do that by holding down Option and just pulling it up. And then I'm gonna have to delete this mask, because what we want now is some of these individual jalapenos. No, I don't want them. Why did you think that? Why would you think that? That's just crazy of you to think. What I am gonna do is lock everything. What is layer 1? It's not even got anything on it. I don't think so. Anyways, I'm gonna lock everything. I'm gonna add a layer. Lock this too. And we're gonna draw jalapenos on this layer. That's what we're gonna do. That's what is gonna happen. So let's do it. Let's grab that. Grab this color here. I want a little more green in that, actually. That's a little ugly. So that looks like Shrek. What the heck? Why? Bring it down to the dark. Now it looks like Yoda. What the heck? Why are there so many green and brown characters? Green and tan. These colors aren't working. What am I missing? Not that. What am I doing wrong? You don't look like a jalapeno. Not even in the slightest. Alright, that's not gonna cut it for me. Let's do, let's just trust the color picker. That is not brown, bro. It's like pickly green. I mean, it's like kind of close to brown, but like, give me pickly green. Okay, well. Oh, that, it looked a little more brown in the thing, the color picker thing. Alright, so let's do that. That's great. That's awesome. Now let's do, no, I want it to be a little lighter and a little more yellowy. So let's bring you in there. Perfect. And shrink you down. So what I think I'm going to do is maybe a couple variations of this, of these jalapeno look. And then from there, we'll just kind of, let's paint this with the same color, actually. Not great, not great. Yeah, well, not great. But maybe alright for a cartoon. Let's shrink this down a little more. Get a little bit of a taper here. Yeah, alright, that's gonna do what I was kind of wanting a little bit better. That'll make it look better. Perfect. Ish. Perfect-ish. No one's perfect, so you gotta be perfect-ish. Alright. Cool. Not cool. That looks terrible. What the heck? That looks so bad. Adjustments, hue and saturation. Hue and saturation. Why? Hue and saturation. There we go. That's just yellow. Oh, whoa, no, not the whole thing. Oh, wait, I can make a clipping mask. It'll be fine. But, yeah, a little bit more green and a little bit more, nope, a little less saturated. Okay. Now, clipping mask here. And that's only going to affect our little oniony, pickly thing. What is it? Jalapeno. Not an onion or a pickle. I have no idea how long I've been streaming, but hopefully this video isn't decades long and you actually care about it. So, assuming that that's still true, I'm going to go ahead and delete that. Oh, that looks okay. That looks okay. I don't hate this at all. So, I also don't need a bunch of layers of it, but it's fine. We'll make a group. Turn this, put it up here. Yeah, we're gonna make a group with all of these because they're going to get out of hand. And then we are also going to do we're gonna put it under the words, because if you notice there, like, it's coming on top of it. I don't want that. We could do maybe a couple like that. Let's do one coming up like here. Let's do that so you can kind of see the cut through of it. So we'll leave this one. So let's name this one top. Perfect. So top's gonna stay. That's probably enough. 4. Are we good with 4 jalapenos? I think we're happy with 4 jalapenos. So let's do our pin tool. I don't like the pin tool here in Photoshop very much. It doesn't work for me very well. So what we're gonna do is, like I said, we're gonna group all these. So new group. You know what? I don't know how to. I'm not even gonna. I can't think right now, bro. I'm not gonna embarrass myself. So we're gonna name it Jalap. All right, let's close this, and let's put it under the words. Perfect. That looks great. That looks great, dude. I'm actually super stoked with this. I'm super stoked. This looks cool. All right. Let's go to do what? Make chips. That's what I want to do. I want to do that in real life too. That sounds really good. Someone just pulled in. My dog going cray-cray. All right. We're gonna do like this. Let's make our chip down here. And let's do one. Okay, yeah, I forgot. We have to go ahead and change the color. That's another thing that's kind of difficult about Photoshop, is it's kind of hard to get your layers, not layers. What am I trying to say? That's an okay chip color, right? Nope, that's green. Is this not in a clipping mask anymore? Oh, no, it isn't. Crud. Okay. Create clipping mask. Oh! No, not to everything. Just to the 2 of you. Create clipping mask. No! Brother. Why? ¿Por qué? No. What did I do? How did I mess this up? Can I delete this? Nope. Sure can't. Did I mess this up? Did it change, or am I just being crazy? I think I'm being a little crazy. Let's just leave this. Let's go here. And let's draw some chips. Let's just everyone relax and draw some chips. That's green. I didn't change it. Let's bring you down into the orange a little more. Okay, or don't move. Yeah. What? I guess it's snapping to the guides. That's probably what it's doing. I didn't think about that. I was wondering why I was getting all wiggly. I don't want no wiggly chips. I want some straight edge, crispy. Where is my... There. Wiggly chips. Man, this a wiggly chip too. That was terrible. That was awful. Can I salvage this? No, I'm not even gonna try. I don't understand this stinking app. Come back. No, how do I get rid of that? Oh, Command Z. Yeah. I don't know why that skipped my mind for a moment. All right, let's do... That's just a Taco Bell symbol. It's just a bell. There, that's a much better chip. My gracious. All right. Can we do a chip that's kind of like weird shaped? Getting a little ambitious here. That looks like a chip, right? It's a chip. It's a chip. It's called suspension of disbelief, folks. Come on now. Just gotta If you believe it's a chip, then it's a chip. So y'all better be believing, because I don't want to fix that chip. And they're nice and chip colored, you know, like coffee with creamer in it, same color as a chip. Okay. Anyways, I'll stop making fun of my chips. They don't look too bad. I should have done it with the thicker. I don't know why I didn't do it with the thicker thing to begin with. Then I wouldn't have to fill in quite so much. I probably could have just done one stroke and done. Come on now. All right. See, this is where, like, Brandon Shepherd, that's the guy that does the really good design stuff. This is where, like, some of his shading and things like that would come in really handy. Like, to make these chips look better, especially this one that's kind of got the waviness in it. That would just be so nice. But I just don't, it's not my forte. So we're not going to worry about it right now. But I am going to add some, can't even see that. So let's change the color just a little bit more. There, that's an enough contrast, right? That's a sentence too, isn't it? Just gonna be kind of random and sporadic with it. It's like a corn tortilla would be. Kind of natural, random colors. Yeah. That's good, bro. That is good, bro. I like it. I like it. Let's do kind of a darker. These are more similar to the ones I used first, but that's fine because I really like the way that chip looks over there on the left. So we're going to go with it. Dude, perfect. Now let's add a little bit of cheesiness on one of these chips. And to do that, I'm going to grab this color. And I'm just going to, oh wow, that's neon. No, dude. This stinking thing has messed me up somewhere along the way. What did I do wrong? I messed myself up with the hue and saturation thing. But it's red if I don't. Was it already this color? Is this the color it was, guys? Everything looks so red. Like, even the backdrop looks so red. Was that what it... That's no way that's what that was. There's no way. Let's do 0 and 0. No shot. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't. Anyways, back to this. I'm frustrated. I'm so frustrated, bro. This cheese color and all of it just doesn't look right. So let's do our hue. Yeah, let's get that color. Oh my gosh. Okay. Default yellow. What does that do? Prominent colors. I don't know what's happening. Maybe there. A little bit. Maybe bring our saturation down some. No. Our lightness? No. Maybe our hue needs to go a little more. Okay, wait, hold on. Oh, wow. Okay, that's not it. Not green. I don't want you to be green. Where's like orange? Okay, there's orangey tones. I'm disappointed, bro. I messed it up. That's such a bummer. I don't know what I did wrong. I mean, it still looks fine. But that is a bummer. I am bummed about that. For sure. Anyways, back to these. Command... Oh! Crap. Crap, dude. Now I've messed up my chips. Dang it. Alright, how can I get this color to match that? Where's my brush? Okay, that doesn't match. So it needs to come down a little bit. It needs to be a little darker. So, what about that? That's green. That's just green. That's green. Why? Why? Why are you green? Green. Bro. I'm so frustrated with this hue and saturation crap. Why is it doing this? If I group these together, is that gonna... New group. Okay, I don't care what you call the group. I really don't care. I'm just desperate right now. No. You punk. Punk. Stop. Go. Close it. Why is it still doing something? Why is it still doing something? It shouldn't. It should not be. Am I crazy? Bro, like... Okay, there we go. So I just needed to turn it off from the rest of my image, I guess. But my cheese... Maybe that's the way the cheese looked. Maybe it is. Who the heck knows? I guess you guys know, because you could just go back in time. Anyways, I can't. Oh, yeah, that had to be the color, bro. Look at that. Yeah, I think we're good. I think we're good. Thank the Lord. Where's my chippies? There we go. Nope, go away. See, there's hue and saturation here also. Is that not what's in the group? Okay, okay, I had the group open. Gosh, I'm gonna go crazy, dude. Yes, bro. This is so much better. This is what I was looking for. This is what I was looking for. That's so perfect. Thank you, Jesus. Alright. Alright, cool. And I'm kind of down with the little two-tone thing. It gave it a highlight. That's perfect. Alright, I think I was going to add some highlights and stuff to the things. I think I like this. I like the 2D kind of flat style. I'm cool with it. Yeah, I'm cool with it. I hope that this was fun to watch. There was a lot of process we went through here with, obviously, like, we only really, like, did up one of them, but, you know, anyways, thanks for watching this stream, and I do hope you enjoyed it. Have a good Halloween. Oh. Go to sleep if you're tired. Have a good Halloween, and just remember that there's a lot of fun to be had tonight, and there's a lot of danger, so keep yourself safe, keep other people safe, do your part, and just pray for the people that are going to be put in some hard situations today, whether that's getting in a car accident or just whatever. So, yeah, thanks for watching. Peace out.